Sorry, folks. Nothing like a little technical difficulty when Streamlabs decides to crash or freeze. It didn't even really crash, it just froze while I was trying to transition scenes to live. So, that's aggravating. So, let me get this worked out and we will go from there. Okay. Had to dial the music back a little bit too, so I think I got my mic gained up enough considering it's to my side. Alright, I got a little bit of touch up to do on this last batch of minis I did. There were 8 figures, I've already done 2 of them touch up, so I've got 6 left to do, and then I've got 8 minis left to paint, and here comes the puppies. Hey, what are you doing? It's like everybody knows that I'm online all of a sudden. Okay, let me put that on silent. I do have the luxury of being on call for another, 15 and a half hours. So if the office phone rings in on my cell phone, I do have to deal with that. If that happens, I'll just pause the stream and we will get back to it as quick as we can. So anyways, let's get started. Let's get some touch up going. Let's get some paint done. I am ready to move on from painting minis to other things. Alright, first things first, we got some touch up to do on these guys due to a little bit of overpaint. Not a lot, just a little bit. I am so ready for some D&D as a player. Comic Palooza is this weekend. I've already got my tickets, so I'm already ready to go. Being the forever DM is kind of tough because you don't get to play. I mean, well, you play, but you play as the NPCs, but you kind of know where the story's going and everything. So it's going to be fun to have a break from DMing to playing for a while. I am looking forward to that big time. I don't know, since this is going to be my first time to Comic Palooza, I don't know if I'm supposed to take my own dice, or if they're going to supply dice, character sheets, any of that. So I'm going to travel prepared and leave stuff in the car. Probably not the best idea, but it is what it is. And anything I need, I'll just have to go back to the car and get. But I am ready, ready, ready. As SpongeBob says, I'm ready. Okay, we got a little bit of overpaint on the visor of his helm that we need to touch. Alright, I think that does his turquoise. Let's see, I've got to dot his eyes, and then his foundation or his base needs to be done. I do need to do a little shine on his boots. His boots are not black and shiny like I want them to be. Let's see how much turquoise touch-up we need to do on Yawn T number 2. So this is the first time I've actually played Yuan-ti, which are the snake people in a campaign. I have to admit, it's been a little bit of fun. Snakes are not my favorite creatures on God's green earth, but in a fantasy setting, I've been enjoying it immensely, so... Oh, we got some serious touch-up under the arm that we missed. Okay. I see some different colors showing there that shouldn't be. Okay, let's touch up his snake armor kilt, for lack of whatever else I can call it. Get him looking sharp. He's supposed to be a soldier. They're supposed to look professional, right? Even the snake people soldiers. So let's get him all touched up and looking good. Get behind the kneecaps. He's going to need a little bit of touch up on the boots as well. Must have been drunk when I did their boots. Or tired. You paint for 2 hours, you tend to get a little tired of it and get a little sloppy. So that's the reason I always like to come back after a paint session, a day or two later, do a little touch up, catch the things my tired eyes missed. Let's get the back of that elbow good. Alright, I think that is good for him. Alright, let's see. Anybody else need any turquoise? I don't believe so. Let's break out some black paint and touch up some boots on these two figures before we do his foundation. And yes, I know I should be using the mini stand, but some days it's just easier to do this than it is to drag all that into the fray. I think we're going to do the ground a dungeon stone type color. Alright, his boots are duly touched. So we are ready for his foundation. Let's see. This dude's boots got missed a little bit more. All right. Let's come back and see. My other two do not have black boots. They have brown boots, so we're not going to worry about that. Now, I do want a little dungeon stone for the foundation, and if I'm going to do their foundation, I might as well do the others' foundations and be done with it. Let me swish these brushes around in this alcohol over here to get the paint off of them. Alright. short, stiff brush. Probably not that thin. There we go. That'll be a good foundation brush. Under dark gray is a really nice dark gray color. A little bit darker than Dungeon Stone. We'll go with that. Sorry, I'm shaking it behind me to mix it good. For the little paint cups, I've got some wooden stirrers I can use to mix. But for these squirt bottles, you have to shake the fire out of them to mix them. And even then, they don't mix, or they want to come out foamy, and it's like, oh, great. We're going to make a huge mess. Let me swirl that around a little bit. I don't worry about overpainting onto these bases as far as the disc that they rest on. As long as I don't paint over the dude's boots that I just worked on, I'm okay. Gotta get it from the side good. So I love the fact that these spears have a serpent coiled around them. That implies poison, which definitely would seem like a snake people trick to me. So I made sure I painted those snakes a nice green color to stand out against the brown of the spear shaft. What are my pups getting into in the kitchen? They're going to get fed late tonight, but they'll be okay because they've mooched dinner from moi and everybody else. So let's get some paint going. Ah! Butterfingers! And I just slop paint on the side of his boot like I didn't want to do. Paint on me, I could care less about. It'll wash and scrub off, so. Oh, here comes my girl. I can tell by the way she breathes. Hey, mamas, come here. Come here. Can you say hellos? I don't think they can see you. Oh, what did you get into that your head is wet, huh? What did you get into that your head is wet? So I took her to the groomer Saturday, and she does great at the groomers. Oh, here comes Sam, the big guy. You can let him in to see me. Jealous? Hey, y'all take that to the living room and wrestle. Hey, go Husky play in the living room. I know she won't let you see me right now. Come here, daddy boy. Sam just turned 10. Yes, he did. He just turned 10. That's him that you hear a-wooing. And so I bought some carrot cake mix because I'm going to make some carrot cake pup cakes this weekend. Well, actually, I'm going to make them this week because I am trying to watch what I eat and lose weight. I'm down to 189 pounds. So, but if I make carrot cake cupcakes for the pups, they're going to get like one each, and then I would eat the rest. So, my plan is to make cupcakes one evening, and then what I don't give the dogs, I'll take to work the next morning. I'll eat one. But I'll make sure I exercise that day or do something to be physically active enough to compensate for the calorie intake. Gotta love when the metabolism slows down. You got to be a little more conscientious about what you eat and when you eat it. So, alright, I'm getting the foundation of the other Yuan-ti. This is a Malison, half snake, half human. I'm going to get the foundation of him done, and then I have a pureblood lady carrying a musical instrument of some sort. She's going to get it next. Get all their foundations done up. I need to rearrange my screens so that when I'm doing this, I know if I tilt it on its side, y'all can see it, but then I can't see the paint. Sorry. But I will show them off here as we finish them up this evening. Now he's got a little overpaint on his jaw of flesh tone. It needs to be corrected. Other than that, he looks good. Let's take a look at the other one. Yeah, he's got the same flaw, and when I painted him last, I got a little sloppy with the flesh tone. And then the pureblood, I've got a little bit of her blue from her dress on her left forearm. So let's go ahead and get her foundation done. That way we can say all the foundation bases are done. And I can move on to the finer detail touch-ups that I like to do. I gotta dot some eyes tonight, so y'all get to see me break out the really fine rubber nib and white paint to dot some eyes. Actually, they turned out really good on the last batch I did. So I can't complain. There we go. Our foundation is done. So when I do mass encounters, I try to have enough miniatures to cover the entire encounter. So I've got like a dozen Yuan-ti in different styles. I've got the purebloods like this. I've got the Malisons that are part snake torso, part human torso. In this case, these two with the dark purple, they have the upper body of a snake and the lower body of a human. But I've got the opposite one that is a human torso on a snake body for instead of legs. And so they came out really good. Might show those off this evening. And then I have a Yuan-ti Abomination, who I'm quite proud of, because I even did the segmenting on the scaling. Alright, further touch-ups for these 6. We need some touch-up of the purple on the 2 Malisons. And then she needs some touch-up of flesh tone on her. So, the purple on the Malisons is actually considered a violent red according to this paint cup. I don't get a red out of this. In my vibe, it's a purple, so screw that. And this stuff has begun to congeal, so don't ask me why that is. Okay, we need a fine tip, because we just want to barely, and I shook these up earlier. He has actually got some white fangs, so when I go to dot his eye, we're going to try to get those fangs done. see some touch-up he needed on the elbow. We've taken care of that. Oh, we got some flesh paint under the arm that doesn't need to be there. It's supposed to be on the snake torso portion, so it needs to be purple. Got his arm touched up around the shield. Alright, other than his nose, alright, I feel good about that one. Let's move him aside. I'll give y'all a closer view here in just a moment. Got some brown overpaint from his shield onto his arm. All right. Just want to touch the nape of his back with a little bit of purple. There we go. Detail him out a little bit more. You know, I think I want to come back. The problem is I did his khaki pants in like a khaki color. He's got a massive looking belt buckle that I'd like to do on a brass, but I don't think the brass is going to show up real good in that small detail against that khaki color. But I might give it a stab anyways, just because. I'm going to touch up the nape of this one's back as well. Just because I can. Okay. And give you a quick look at the front cam, but a better look from the upper cam. Might help if I get the light above him. And then that's too bright and too close, but yeah, I'll get a better look at him that way. And then this dude with the snake spear. Alright, so we got to do the chica. And I need some flesh tone touch up on her. But I am going to show y'all that abomination I did the other day. Let me grab him and pull him out. He is a full-on snake with arms. And it's kind of hard to see on this camera, but I did the segmenting of the scales on his abdominal portion. I think he turned out really well, and that light is too much, so it's washing him out real bad. Okay, let's put him up. I have painted almost 30 minis in the last, what, 2 weeks it seems like? I'm tired of painting minis. I'd be glad to go back to playing some D&D and get this over with. Oh, Rocky's behind me. I don't know if y'all can see him back there. He's laying down on the floor behind me. Here comes the girl because, oh my God, somebody else was getting attention, weren't they? Somebody else was getting attention. Wet head. Did you go swimming in your water bowl? Or were you misbehaving and got in trouble? Brother's chewing on you. Okay, we need a really fine point for the touch-up on the arm. Kind of want to touch up her fingers a little bit. Oh, she did need a little black touch up on her hair. I'm gonna probably have to break out the black paint and fix that. Let's get that hand good. Really slop that paint under her arm in blue from her dress. Okay. I think her hair is okay. Alright. So I'm going to get the nib out and we're going to do dot some eyes here real quick. Oh, somebody messaging me. One of my buddies is streaming and he and I watch each other to keep our concurrent view count up. But when we stream at the same time, we can't do that. Alright, let's dot some eyes. The two that I did touch up on before I started streaming need their eyes done. Let's get these dudes and get their eyes, which I'm going to need the magnifier in here to see what the heck I'm doing. Now, if you ask me to put pupils in those eyes, I'm going to throat punch you. Because it ain't happening. And I'll have to fix him a little later. Alright. Snake dude. Trying to do those fangs and making a mess of it. I think it's because maybe only one of them really has well-pronounced fangs. I guess that's a molding issue. That's a problem with plastic miniatures. You know, that certain size resolution is lost. She got some bug eyes. Marty Feldman. Google it if you don't know who that is. Yeah, I got messy with her. Of course, I'm going to have to touch up her face a little bit. So let's go back to the black because I got to fix her hair. That's bugging me. Things that bug me must be fixed. Okay. This one's got a little bit of blue paint on her head. And I could have picked a better brush than this to do this with because it's got some wild strays sticking out of it. Yeah. Different brush because I'm going to get mad at that one here and make a mess. Okay. Her hair has been fixed. Got to fix her face, but that's a different story. That's going to require the fine tip and flesh tone. Okay. Okie dokie. Fix the hair, fix the hair. Okay, so I think that finishes my touch-up for the Yuan-ti tonight. I'm going to move on to these two hags. I have a green hag and a night hag to do. So I think we're going to do the night hag first. She's going to be in a black robe with silvery hair and a green face and hands. So my predominant colors are going to be a silver, a black, and a putrid slime green. So I'm going to start out with the black of her robe. And in my other one, she's almost got, the night hag has purple flesh and like a dark red, almost like an ochre colored robe on. All right, we're going to start with the black robe. Let's go ahead and pop her on the base just because the amount of paint is going to be slopped around here. Let's see, where is that in correlation to the camera? That's good. Okay. That is too wide of a brush for this project. Now these are already pre-primed. Otherwise I would have taken them outside and primed them with spray primer. When I print minis using the 3D printer, the resin printer, I have to prime them. And so I use an acrylic gesso for doing that. And that's messy as hell. Now, I honestly prefer the spray primer, but that's just me. I have to definitely do that outside to keep from fumigating my small office. You spray paint in here, you're going to be suffocating yourself, so alright, let's get her robe on the side and her sleeve done. Look at the exemplar on the ticket. So she has black showing between her long silvery locks here. So they didn't realize that my players had faced off against Nanny Poo Poo, who is a green hag in disguise. But they didn't engage her in combat, and judging by the party strength, she didn't want to initiate unless she could get somebody alone, which I couldn't get them to separate as much as I tried. So that was a encounter that just basically was role played out and no combat, but it could have been a blast for me had a fight started between them. The cleric, you know, one of my sons plays the party cleric, really wanted to kill her, but I think everybody else was so focused on getting into the Aldani Basin and finding Omu that they're like, just leave her alone, let's go, we don't have time for this. But Matthew's take on it now is, yeah, we'll kill her on our way out. So they are in Omu. With a semi-repaired Star Goddess, basically a small section of the Star Goddess refitted for flight, since they could not take their water-faring boat any further up the Ocean Star River. But we are getting close to the end of the Tomb of Annihilation, and it's really kind of cool timing-wise, because I got two opportunities here for continuation. One, I'm working on a homebrew campaign, and I've been world building on Wednesdays for that. So that's option one. Option two is I could segue them straight into Vecna's Eve of Ruin, which just came out, and might be an interesting continuation of battling liches, because at the end of the Tomb of Annihilation they're going to face a Sararak, or at least a Sararak's manifestation on this plane. But they are not powerful enough to kill a Sararak, so the best they can do is drive him from the plane, from the prime material plane, which is probably where it's going to go, but we'll see. I am not going to lie, my players are constantly surprising me, and so that makes the game more fun. Okay, this other chica. Hey, are we back again to see our daddy? Huh? You sure are a daddy girl tonight, huh? No, you're not? Big head? Yeah. It's my girl. Huh? What? You gonna talk to me? So this other hag has black hair, and she's got some dreads that look like they have moldering bones threaded through them. So this is going to be a bit of an interesting paint job. Let me see what I can do. Let's start with the black hair, since that's the obvious. And she has a set of, or at least one visible, what looks like a horn. So maybe a little bit of infernal blood in her bloodline. Or she's been transformed by her patron. Could go either way with this chick, you know. Let's get this paint on this hair. And then we will figure out how we want to do her dreads and whatnot. Ooh, she's got a lot of hair. Lot of lustrous black hair. And then there's 3 dreads hanging down in the front. And her face is a purple color. That what my paint code calls violent red. Oh, you bringing me a tennis ball, Mama? She's wanting somebody to play fetch with her, so after I get done streaming, I'll play a little fetch with her here in the house. They had our godson to play with this weekend. And so today, it was fortunate that I was working from home, because otherwise I would have had 3 huskies moping around the house. There's nobody here to aggravate and play with them. A tired husky is a well-behaved husky. Okay, let's get this dread painted. Ooh! I hate flipping minis over to paint underneath. I always feel like they're gonna pop off the base that they're on. All right, let's get her hair done. Her hair done did. And what is she holding? It looks like a skull with a portion of the spinal column still attached. A la, what is that, Predator 1? Where the predator rips the guy's spine out and hangs it from the tree? Or was that Predators? You know, all those movies. I've seen all of them, but they all kind of run together after a while. Okay. Get more dreads painted. probably need a finer, smaller point brush. Ooh, okay. Let's touch her up a little bit here at the nape of the neck. And I will move to a smaller brush here momentarily. Okay, I think we're done with the black on her for her hair. Oh, we missed a couple spots. Missed some spots on some dreads. Gotta get them, gotta get them. Okay. I think we've covered her dreads good. Yep. There is some down the back of her hair that I did not get real good. Just because that's a hard ass place to stick a paintbrush. Okay, we need a finer point brush to get down in there. Let's see what we've got. Get down in there and touch it. There we go. All right. Gotta get her face and her horns. Got that. Okay. Get down in there. That brush. Okay. I'm going to have to find an appropriate ochre red for her. But let's go back and do the silver hair on the night hag. Silver or white? I feel like white's going to be too stark. I think silver's the better choice. That's what we're going to go with. I can always redo it later, right? Whew, some of these fine points make you crazy. I am not freaking Bob Ross. I probably could have used a wider brush for this section of the back of her hair. But it is what it is. Oh, this is relaxing. I wanted to mow the lawn tonight, but A, it was still semi-wet in sections, so I didn't want to mess with that. And after the dentist trip today and the antibiotic shot in the mouth, I passed out for 2 hours. And so getting up from that, it's like, no, I'm not going outside and dealing with that mess right now. Tomorrow night's a non-streaming night. I can come home and mow the lawn then. At least the back. Get the back done, you know? Alright, she has got some crazy silver hair. And I'm going to have to do some serious touch-up. But that's okay. That's what multiple sessions are for. Is to address that. Because, yeah, she has gotten overboard there. Okay. We're going to let her dry. And then I think we're going to try to find a purplish ochreish color, or reddish ochreish color. That is almost like a cobalt red is what that looks like to me. Glistening blood. Cobalt red might be a good match for her dress. Let's close up the silver in the cup. And drop the paint. Hey, Rocky. Was you trying to fetch that for me? No, he's thinking it was something to chew on, knowing him. Let's see. This is jacked because it's got a bubble coming out of it, and it does not look mixed good even after me shaking it. So we're going to try this again. Different paint cup. Okay, that looks mixed a little better. We're going to roll with that. What brush to use? I got a good base coat brush here I can use. Let's work on seeing how her dress is going to turn out. Oh yeah, Cobalt red is your look, girl. It is definitely your look. Going to be the Edma mode of villainous miniature painting. Oh, that is you, darling. It is perfect. It is bold, striking, yet not too overstated. You gotta have fun while doing this. In case you can't tell, I like to goof off when I'm painting. I like to goof off when I'm playing D&D too. Our campaign is a mix of serious and humor. The longer we play, the more it devolves into stupid Monty Python and television references and movie quotes. But that's part of the fun of it. So I have 3 players in my regular group. We really need a 4th and possibly a 5th player just to kind of give us a little more engagement as far as if somebody's missing with only 3 players, we really can't play. So I'm definitely looking for somebody to fill a 4th seat, and it wouldn't be bad to have an alternate person available that would be willing to play to fill in if somebody's, you know, unable to play based on the schedule. So if you're interested, message me on Twitch. We try to play every other Saturday, but you know, it doesn't always work out that way. It happens, you know. I'm not gonna fuss over it. I understand people have lives outside of the game session, so. Oh yes, I'm liking this color for her robes, her vestments. Now, and I've already slopped some damn paint on the dreadlock I just painted. It is now robe colored. She is wearing skulls as a necklace. Alright. Got to get that little bit of robe here. her upper shoulder here needs to be, that section of robe needs to be the same color. Ooh. Slop that paint on. Get it on there thick. And there's the on-call. All right, folks, let me pause this. Well, they hung up after 2 rings. I called back, left a voicemail. They didn't answer, so hey, you know, moving on to other problems, like finishing painting. If they call back, I'll deal with it. If they don't call back, I'll just figure it was probably a misdial. Somebody hit on call that didn't, it probably was like a vendor or fax machine. Those are the ones I love, where you get a call at 2 in the morning and it's somebody's damn fax machine ringing into the on-call number. It's like, seriously? I think we had to go into the on-call system and block that number because it was just a repeated thing. It's like, yeah, our folks do not like getting woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning by a stupid fax machine. Okay. I think her cobalt red raiments are looking marvelous. But But that's just me. Sometimes I can be opinionated about these kind of things. I'm going to figure out what color I want to do her sash. I do see she has some skull and bones, and of course she has that skull, the spinal column in her arm. So we will come back to her in a little bit. We're going to let that ochre or cobalt red dry. I've used about half my brushes, so it looks like it's time to clean some brushes. Let's take a look at our night hag. I'm of two minds. Do I want to go ahead and paint her green features, or do I want to fix the black? But really, it's too wet either way to do either one at the moment. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to silver some weapons on these elves to my side here, because I've got 6 elves that need painted. As much as I was hoping to get all 8 of these minis done tonight, I don't think I'm going to, because I spent too much time obsessing over the Yuan-Ti, and that happens. I tend to obsess over certain features. So let's just go ahead and silver some weapons. While my hag's dry. Because we can do this, and this will be a jump start on the next paint session, which I'm probably not going to stream unless I just really have a rough Wednesday at work and decide, yeah, I'm going to paint minis instead of world building, because world building sometimes requires a little bit more brain power. Alright, single blade. Dual blades, looks like daggers. Get this knocked out. So we've been playing more online than we have face-to-face. But I've had minis laying around for quite a while, so I'm like, I've got to get some damn minis painted. Alright, he has a dual wield going on here because he has a blade in each hand. Alright. And then, now isn't this special? Looks like he's carrying a flame tongue, so he's going to require some orange and yellow and red. And he's casting some sort of spell. So no silver weapons there. But you know what? I'm in the mood to do some doodling on that. So let's go ahead and get the yellow for the flame tongue going with some red in the center. Let's get his flame tongue drawn out. I can't even talk. Damn. Okay, let's see. We want a thick but short brush. Of course, this yellow is going to have to dry before I can come back and do anything with red down the center, so that's okay. Perfect. That, I'm going to put some red down the center. I think that will look fantastic for a flame blade. Now what I could have done, it just shows I'm going to have to do some different things here. I could have went ahead and silvered the hilt and the blade guard of his weapon. There we go. We've silvered his weapon. Now, before I do the mystic orb in this dude's hands, I gotta stop for a few minutes and clean some brushes. Let me move this plastic out of the way. Let's get all my green brushes first. Okay. Those 4 or 5 are clean. Let's grab 4 or 5 more. Yeah, I burn through brushes at an incredible rate, changing colors and changing brush sizes based on what I'm painting and the level of detail it needs. Okay, one of these is my rubber nib. We can just stick him back in his holder till he's needed. Alright, these guys are all clean. Alright, these other 6 brushes are all fairly good sized brush handles, so we're going to do just 3 at a time. Makes them a little bit easier to control. That paper towel is spent. That's okay, because I got 4 more squares here. Those into my brush bucket. Move this out of the way. Get these 3 clean. Alrighty. Alright. So I want to do his mystical orb first. I want to do a blue and a white. Let's just grab the little white cup. Get one of the brushes I just used or just cleaned. Alright. There, now we can do his little mystical ball of energy, which I am going to do in a really, really light slash bright blue. Ghostly blue. Sounds ideal. Oh, shake it. Shake it if you plan on using it. And then we will come back and work on the night hag, or the green hag, followed by the night hag some more. Okay. We want a really fine brush for this. Now what I will do is when this blue orb dries, I will put a white dot in the center of it. Actually, I could probably do it now just by touch contaminating the blue and the white. Oh yeah. There we go. I think that's awesome. Alright. Let's stick our elves aside because we silvered their weapons and did their arcane stuff. Ugh. Pardon me, my nose is itching and I need to get a drink because my whistle's about wore out. Okay. We want a short, fine brush for doing some touch-up on the hag. Probably black. Yeah, we're going to touch up her black. Actually, it is on this one at the end. Fix her sleeves a little bit. Fix the end of her hair in the front. green features next. What are you huffing about, girl? Is it because you're not getting your way over something? Alright, so I think we've done her justice. We will green up her features as soon as the black around her chin dries. And she has to have a green face and green hands. Now, you know, I can go ahead and do her hands now. Probably do her face too if I'm just really careful and not butterfingered, huh? Butterfingers is the problem. Lord have mercy. Alright, so let's go ahead and break out the slime green. Was it slime green I chose or green flame? Green flame. We're going to go ahead and do her hands. And I'm going to touch a little bit of her face. What is it, mamas? What is it? Huh? What is it? Yeah, my girly girl. Oh, those are sweet girly kisses, my brown-eyed girl. Yeah, daddy's brown-eyed girl, huh? Oh, who's my favoriteest girl? Yeah, her was my favoriteest girl. Look at that smile. Are you the hap? Are you the hap? Yeah. Are you the hap? Pretty girl. Yeah, her got to go to the groomers and got all pretty. Yeah. Her and little brother. My co-workers all joke that they want to come back and be reincarnated. If reincarnation is real, they want to be reincarnated as my dogs. Because apparently my dogs are spoiled. I say my dogs are not spoiled. They are well compensated for the user experience they provide. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Alright, left hand. Oh, I love that green color. It's the Wicked Witch of the West. Minus the broom and the hat. Alright, do we want to tempt fate with her face? I say yes, we do. Okay. Alrighty. I am content with her face. I do see a spot I want to touch up on her hands. Alright. Green hag nearing completion. Alright. The night hag. Whew, is going to get some purple for her arms and face. And I think we're going to do that before we do her skeletal features that she's wearing, and her clothing and her hair. I also think I'm going to do that sash, that mid sash, and maybe a mahogany brown. But let's break out the purple and go ahead and do arms and face. Let's see, I need a medium short brush. That's probably a good choice for this. Let's get in here, starting with this arm and hand. Have to pull them off the base sometimes to be able to get to certain areas as you're painting, so alright, I feel good with that one. Let's do this upper arm, extend it out. To this hand. Alright, that leaves facial features, which I want a smaller, finer brush for this work. Definitely want a smaller, finer brush. Whew. We're going to have to come back and do her horns yet. Provided I can see them to do them. So get her chin. Okay. You see, that's almost too dark for her. Okay. I say let's do the spinal cord in her hand and the skull. Let's see. Or should I go ahead and do that sash? I'm thinking maybe the sash and then come back and do the bone features. There are really some areas I want to touch up the ochre though. So I think we need to break out the cobalt red again. And kind of get into some areas in detail. I think that's good. Need to touch that sleeve right there and try not to contaminate my paint. Hey mamas, what are you doing? Carmen, I heard you come up behind me, girl. What you doing, mamas? Do you need out? Carmen. Okay, I got a spot I missed. Back in under her hair. Ooh, those skulls are going to be fun to decorate. I think we're going to go ahead and start working on that. Alright, we need some skeleton bone, which is a color. A color that probably needs to be mixed. Let's see. Oh, that's mixed good. I don't need a whole lot of it though, because there's not a whole lot of these features to do. Okay. Something small, pointy, and fine. I don't know why, every time I think of a hag, I think of the movie Army of Darkness. You are all going to die! One of my favoriteest B-grade movies of all times. Listen up, screwheads. This is my boomstick. Okay, that looks phenomenal. And let's decorate the one on her sash because she's got a skull there. Probably needs some other detail done on it or around it by the looks of it, but hey. All right. They're playing, her and Sam, right outside of my office door. Which is better than them in here playing, where they make me crazy when I'm trying to stream or paint or do anything that requires a fine amount of detail. Okay, let's do some of these bone details in her braids now. You know, my depth perception is crap. And that thing just aggravates it. Used to be a time those two would fight before they would play. You know, they would not play at all, they would fight with each other. And to see them playing is a good thing. She has some serious anxiety and some aggression issues towards other dogs. And she wanted to be the boss when she came here, and Sam was the boss, so they naturally butted heads. He has put her in her place a time or two, and that has since resolved it. She will occasionally do something to challenge him, and he will remind her why he's in charge. So it has all kind of worked out in the end, but it was very touch and go and very tense for 2 years as a result. But she has gotten better. Lord, somebody's getting the zoomies. Nothing like a massive ball of fluff that weighs 70 pounds getting the zoomies. So yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything more done than this tonight, and I'm okay with that. It just means I need to paint again on another night. And I will. So, anyways, I think that is going to do it for her. She looks good. And then the green hag, just by way of comparison. Quite content with them tonight. I'm going to go ahead and do their foundations just because I normally leave that for the next session. And let's just go ahead and get it done tonight and be done with it. That way I can move on to these last 6 minis in my next session and get them done. Let's pick up the green hag. Okay, her foundation is done. Let's get the night hag done. It'll be time to wrap up stream here in a few minutes. Now, since I am going to Comic Palooza this weekend, I don't know that I'm going to stream Saturday night. I will update by Wednesday because I am planning on streaming Wednesday evening after work. Just don't know exact content yet, if we're going to do world building or if we're going to continue painting minis. I would prefer to do some world building because it's been a minute. So, alright, let me dial that brightness down a little bit. Let's clean up some brushes. But that'll be the stream for tonight. And Wednesday night at 7:30 Central, I'll be streaming again if you want to join in. Oh, here they come. Hey, don't wrestle in here. I'm fixing to put their bad asses outside and make sure I put food and water down. Yes, I know. They are talkative. 2 of them are talkative. Rocky's not the talkative type, but Sam and Carmen will talk and they will sing and they will carry on. Now the groomers did tell me, because Rocky went to the groomers Friday, Carmen went Saturday. Shelby did tell me that Rocky decided to sing while he was getting a bath, which he loves getting groomed and bathed, so I don't know if there was anything different this time around, but apparently he was singing in the tub. and they had either a golden lab or a golden retriever back there at the same time, getting bathed, and apparently there was a little duet going on between my Rocky, who is my silent pup, and this other dog. And I told Shelby, I'm like, I don't believe it. Y'all gonna have to catch a video of this for me, because this dog, this is not my talking dog. And my other two dogs, yeah, they'll have a conversation with you, they'll sing, they will carry on. But my puppy, the only time I've ever caught him talking, once in a blue moon when the other two are singing, he'll wow, wow, wow a little bit, but he does it real softly. Or if he sees a cat or a squirrel or a rabbit or something like that in the yard, he'll make little puppy yipping noises at it, but he is not the talking, singing type like the other two are. Ugh, excuse me. So, anyways, that's it for this evening. We did get 2 hags done and the Yawn Tea touched up. Hope to see y'all Wednesday night. Let's do something besides paint minis. I'm tired of painting minis. I'm going to get these last 6 done, though, if it kills me. And go from there. I do want his flame tongue to have some red or orange in it. So I'm going to touch that up. And I'm going to try to get those done maybe tomorrow night. Depends. I'm going to mow tomorrow and we'll go from there. So, but have a good evening. We'll see you next time. And thanks for tuning in.